Hi there, my name is Allison. This is my first YouTube video. I've been crafting for some time now, and I've never had the courage to put anything out into the universe. I've actually made a couple videos, and I've asked my daughters to help me, and I've created them, but I've had no help editing them because my daughters have been quite busy getting their own lives in order and going back to school, and I understand that, so I can't be a nagging mom, and I'm trying to teach myself. But I'm tired of waiting, so today I'm going to create something, and I'm sorry, but it's going to be choppy because I'm going to turn on and off the video so that I can go from step to step without making you have to watch the entire thing. And I won't talk for hours and hours and hours as I create. I try to put everything out ahead of time so that I will be prepared, and this is going to be a really rough video because it's a learning experience for me, and I don't even know if anybody's going to watch, but I like a little humor in my life. I hope you like a little humor, and I hope maybe you'll follow me if anybody's watching. So that being said, let me go put this video up on a stand, which I did invest in, because someday I'm going to be rich and famous, right? Oh well, one can hope, right? Anyways, I'll be right back. Okay, like I said, this is going to be so rough, but yesterday I made something, and this is just a sample. This is such a rough example of what I want to do. I'm going to do a much cleaner version of this, but this is what it's going to kind of look like. And then if you turn these blocks over, it's going to say Thanksgiving. So each letter can be turned over and it'll say Thanksgiving. So, but I'm going to do a much cleaner version of it. So that's the idea. Let's see if it comes out the way I planned. So what you're going to need is, what I got is this balsa wood that I got at Walmart. It's really inexpensive. It comes in a pack. Pardon me for not knowing dollar amounts, but I've had it in my stash for a long time. It comes in a pack of like 4 pieces of balsa wood. You can see how thin the pieces are. And you need some of the Jenga blocks or building blocks from the Dollar Tree. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so 18 pieces of those. I have corks, like wine corks. I don't drink wine, so I asked some friends, but I also purchased these off of Amazon. I bought a bag of them, really inexpensive corks, because I didn't know if my friends would pull through for me, but you can see these were all the same that I got from Amazon, but I liked the variety that I could get. So I'm using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 corks. The white Waverly chalk paint in, let's see, cashew. I like Gorilla Glue, and you can use your glue gun. Either works. I might use a little of both. Ruler, and of course a paintbrush. When I use my Gorilla Glue, I get really messy because I love to get into my projects, but I'm going to try to keep my hands somewhat clean, but I'm like a little kid. So I'm going to use some Q-tips to use the glue gun, or the wood glue, and I'm going to go with markers to write my letters instead of paint today, seeing that it's my first video, and I'm going to try to keep it easy and simple for myself. But what I've done with the this kind of balsa wood is I've sectioned it off for each of my letters. So I've sectioned it off into 3-inch squares. So I've just done the lines. So it's 3 6, 9, 12. And then I've done 3, 6. And if you'll see here, I'm actually going to make these, they're 3 inches, but I'm actually going to make them 3 by 2 because I want to have the word bells and giving above them, so I need this to be a smaller wood block, the 2 center words, if that makes any sense. You're probably going to have to hang in with me so you understand where I'm coming from on that. So I just drew those out, so the actual squares are all the same. They're 3 by 3 by 3 by 3, and then this is 3 by 2 and 3 by 2. And so this top part is going to be, this section will be on top of this, and it's going to be giving and bells on either side. So let me, well, this is what I did. So I used my cutting tool. I always start, this is my preference, and everybody has their own way, but I just use my small cutting tool, and I just go and score it along. You got to use a lot of pressure, even though it's balsa wood, but I just keep scoring it, and it just goes a little deeper and a little deeper, and then I use the big one once I get the scoring going. You can kind of gently, when you feel that you have that give, it just kind of comes apart. So I like to do all the big lines first before I go in to do that 1 inch line. So I'm going to break all of these apart. I'll do one more here. So I kind of start the line. I start scoring it here. While I'm scoring this, man, I watched that first little segment that I taped with my face in there. Woo! I had a shiny face today. I'm hoping it was just the lighting. I did go out of the house this morning, but ugh, that was a shiner. I normally don't have that much of a shine. Maybe I do and nobody's informed me, but I've got 3 daughters, and you'd think somebody would holler at me for having that much of a shine. But anyways, if I keep up with this YouTube channel, and if anybody starts following me and they get to know me, I kind of like to ham it up a little bit, and you guys will kind of see I have a little bit of humor in me. Let's see, you can kind of hear it cracking a little bit. There you go. Kind of go the other way. And you can just kind of clean it up. There you go. You have a nice clean cut. So there's 2 squares. So nice 2 squares, okay? So like I said before, I'm not going to keep the camera going the entire time that I cut all of these. So let me turn off the camera while I cut these last 3 cuts, and I will be right back. Okay, so this a greasy face mother of 3 just finished up, and I just took out my sanding block after I had cut down this balsa wood and just, you know, filed down some of the edges a little bit, and everything kind of fit together really nice. So I hope you guys understand now where I was coming from. So I cut all the squares out, and then these 2 I cut down to be the 2 inch, so that this last piece that was on the end is going to go right up here. So it'll be Jingle, and then this is going to be bells, and then it'll be Thanks, giving on the other side. So that's what we've got going here. And you know what? I just gave myself a new name. Golly, I'm going to call myself Rambo. I need one of those metal industrial rulers, because I was, you know, using it to slice, you know, and I was cutting, and I have one of these wooden rulers from years and years and years ago. And man, I just sliced right on through because I was cutting wood and shoo, sliced right on through that one. Then I pulled out my plastic one. Woo, sliced right on through the plastic one. So I'll just call myself Rambo, I guess. So I thought the next step, what I would do is get on the paint so that I can let that dry. I just have a glass cutting board that I like to paint on, just to, you can see I have a lot of pink on, or peach on here. I was painting pumpkins yesterday. So, man, another trials and tribulations I was having. I could never, I would pour a bazillion like gallons of my paint out. I'd waste so much paint. So finally I figured out, don't take off the whole metal tip, because I was wasting so much paint. So I just poked a hole in there, and now I pour my paint out and I don't get paint all the way around the rim. Nobody told me that, so I'm just sharing that. You guys
all probably know that already. But once again, this is the Waverly chalk paint, and this is in the cashew color. It's almost the exact same. It's almost the exact same color as the balsa wood, but by doing this, the ink won't. The ink won't bleed on the balsa wood. You know, I wanted to give it a little more contrast than that. I think on that sample one that I did, I did use the what do we call it? I'm gonna go. You know what? I don't want to do that. I'm gonna go in for. I'm gonna go in for, instead of doing the cashew, I'm gonna do what we all use on all of our projects, the ivory, your stand-in ivory. I'm just gonna use the same paintbrush because I didn't get much on there. It was just too dull. I wanted it to be a little brighter so that when I use my colors, when I write the colors on there, you can see it looks a little better, pops a little more. So just real quick here. When y'all are doing your crafting, do you listen to music? Do you watch TV? I usually have the TV going if nobody's home or whatever. We have a game room upstairs that the kids used to use, and it's a fairly big room. It's over the garage, so if that gives you an idea, it's the size of our garage upstairs, but over the garage obviously. And so it, you know, was a game room, so the kids, we had it decorated real nice for the girls to have their friends over and such. And so I've taken over the game room for my crafts, and this weekend we were at a flea market, and I was looking at gosh, I don't even remember. I think some doors, like some I don't know, some shutters maybe. And the lady goes, "Oh, do you craft?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I like to craft a little bit." And my daughter goes, "A little bit, Mom?" And the lady goes, "Yeah, my kids like to say, 'Oh, yeah, Mom, a little bit.'" And my youngest, who's 18, she pipes in and she goes, Ma'am, does your craft room look like Michael's threw up? And the lady thought a minute and she goes, well, not really. So I guess your mom beats me out in crafting. So, yep, that's how my daughter explains my crafting habit to people is it had everybody laughing who was in the area that her mom's room looks like Michael's threw up in it. Thanks, Hannah. So, yeah, but I usually watch TV. I don't even watch it. I just have noise going on. I guess I could listen to music, but then I spend too much time deciding what do I want to listen to and what songs make me feel happy or sad or whatever. So I just have nonsense going on in the background, right? And I guess my next question would be, well, what do you listen to? If you're listening to music or listening to the TV, what do you listen to? I guess I just have, either home improvements or the stupid reality stuff that's on TV, Bravo. What is everybody, what are those people living like that, that I just find humorous, really. Then I think my life is pretty darn good when I see what they're dealing with, right? See how nice that pours out? I mean, I have crazy wasted paint because I've poured it all over everything and I've poured too much and am I the only person that's ever had that problem and wasted so much paint because they poured everywhere? I think I'm the only person that's had that problem. And then it just dawned on me like, well, if you make a smaller spout, then you can't pour it all over, and then you don't waste it all over the nozzle, and then it doesn't get in the lid. Anyways. But yeah, when you paint this balsa wood, it's nice because it just soaks it up really quick. And the chalk paint dries fast anyways, so then with this thin wood, the balsa wood, it even dries faster. Like by the time you're done getting the strokes over one way, you can actually flip it over and paint the other side, which is kind of nice. So I can get both coats done real quick here. But let me turn off the video because you really don't need to hear me ramble. I mean, I guess I could ramble, but I don't like to make anybody have to sit and listen and listen and listen when they can see me paint and you have your own stuff to do. And if you happen to be following along, you don't need to waste your time while I'm painting, right? Everybody's got stuff to do that's important in their lives. So let me get this step done and I'll be right back.
Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all my corks, and I am going to use hot glue to glue the corks, and just a small bit of glue will, okay, why is my glue gun not work? Oh, there it is. So I'm just because all the corks are different sizes, I'm just kind of lining up the back side of it, and you'll understand why in just a bit here. When I put the stands together, I want the back sides to all line up. So even though the corks might be different sizes, I want the back sides to all be lined up, if that makes any sense. So you'll see how I don't want them to be all wonky. I want the back sides to all have the same line. Okay? So I'm just going to put a little dab of glue. Hello. See, I want a little dab. Okay. Getting used to that glue gun, and it just seems like it pours out or don't get any out at all. So, okay, so you can see how that, just a little bit, boy am I daring by putting my finger there. Warming that puppy up. And the other thing I'm going to glue before I sign off, remember how I said I'm such a mess when it comes to the wood glue? I like using the wood glue whenever it comes to some of these wood pieces, and instead of me shutting off the camera here 5 million more times, I'm going to use this wood glue, Gorilla Wood Glue. See what a mess I made here. My wood glue just, see, it dried up and I made a mess in there. I am a hot mess. Here we go. So I just pour a little bit of the glue in there, and what I'm going to do, because I'm making a stand, remember I'm making a stand for my words, so I'm just putting a little bit of the wood glue on here, and I'm gluing it like so. So it's going to be like this. So it looks like a little bench. That makes sense? So it looks like that. You can do it however you want. You can put all the bases together. That would be my look. I'd go put silly thing in. Put all your bases together first, if you want. Do something like this. Okay. Still gets a little messy. But this wood glue dries really pretty fast. And then when you're done with that, then put all the backs on. However you want to do it. So I'm going to go and glue all of these together so I can make my bench and I can make my corks. And then I'm going to put that all together so that you're going to see that all come together. And then I'm going to work on my blocks and my lettering for my blocks. So we're almost done, and we'll see how this video turns out. Thanks for being patient with me. This is the stick I was talking about. I just hot glued a large popsicle stick on the back right here, so that when you have the words on the squares here, your large word will just rest real nice right here. So here's my Jingle Bells. So I hope you enjoyed my very first video. I thank you so much for hanging in with me, and maybe somebody will watch this and let me know if you do, and hopefully you'll give me a thumbs up and let me know you're here with me and I'm not talking to the universe all by myself. Hey, you have a great day, and let me know where you're from. Signing out for now, and maybe you'll see me again soon. Okay, so I just realized I didn't turn off that last video. I've got to file that one down because you do not want to watch that whole 40 minutes of me messing in my craft room cleaning up. Anyway, so I put together all the Jenga pieces so that it makes the ledge. You can see here. So the 2 rows, does that make sense? So it's like an L shape, okay? And here's the glued corks, okay? And what we're gonna do is we're gonna glue these 2 together. So this way the letters can sit inside of there. And I'm going to, remember how I said I wanted all the corks to be straight so that they are lined up against the Jenga blocks, and that way it's easy to just glue them together. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the E6000 for a secure hold, as we all know how the E6000 works, for a more permanent hold. Oh, I'm just about at the end of my E6000. No fear, I have more in my handy drawer. And then, because I want to show you a completed project, because I want instant gratification. Who doesn't want instant gratification, right? Okay. Whoa, see? I like how that happens. Just flies out of there. See? Am I the only one that has this problem lately? Darn. I have no control. It's like impulse control, right? I cannot get this to just flow out nicely. For whatever reason, this new glue gun, well, it's not that new. I've been using it, and it's like goes in spurts where I can't seem to make it work the way I really want it to. Anyways, I'll stop blabbing. I guess the best way to do this, put it the way I want it, and there we go. I have the corks overlapping a little bit, and the blocks will be flat against the tabletop, and then the corks. Make sure it doesn't stick to the tabletop. And you should be able to lift them up. And once it has its initial hold, then I'll go underneath. Like right now, it's still, because the E6000 is taking hold, I will feel a whole lot better when I know the E6000 is taking better hold, that I'll put more of the hot glue inside of there, inside the little crevices. But for now, this is how it looks. So now I think you'll understand better. It has the ledge. So I'm going to start putting my letters in there. But what we're going to work on now is the final step. Our little blocks that we cut out are dried and ready to go. So remember, it's going to say thanks with the long one that says giving, and then the other side it'll say Jingle Bells. Now you can do any type of writing font. You can use your Cricut or Silhouette, your sticker from your stickers that Dollar Tree has. They have phenomenal stickers that you can do. You know, if you like to print, that's great. If you have kids that like to print, that's also great. I've just been getting into messing with handwritings, and I just wanted to, I don't know, do some different handwritings here. Oops, my glue is leaking out here. But I'm just going to mess with my pencil and see what I come up with. This could change, you know, but I'm going to write the word thanks, just in swirly, you know, no nonsense, whimsical kind of writing. See if I like it when I go to put my marker on. Like I said, I did I painted it so that I can write in marker, just because it's a lot easier for me to do the marker today for the sake of getting a video, my very first video up. I want to get a video up all by myself so my kids can make fun of me. Let's see, how do I want to do this? So by me putting paint on here, that balsa wood, you know, if you print on balsa wood, if you use marker, how it bleeds a lot of times. So this way, by putting the paint on, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to think and write at the same time, and I don't do two things at once very well. But let's see, Thanksgiving. I used to teach elementary school, so that's why a lot of times people tell me, oh, you have such nice printing. It's all from my elementary school days. We'll see how this goes. Like I said, once I start getting into it with the markers, I'm gonna do, I think I wanted to do these three colors, the orange, the burnt kind of brown, and the burgundy for Thanksgiving. I'll do this. You know, I should erase that a little better. I made the pencil a little too dark. Should have sketched it a little lighter so it doesn't come through. I just got a little hard on the printing, right? So, oh well. I just like things to be whimsical. So, do I want some dots on there? I wish I had like a real thick plum color like this. I love this plum color, but I am a marker junkie also. I can't even begin to tell you what my marker stash looks like. It's embarrassing. Yeah, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Just like my kid telling that lady, that total stranger, that it looks like my craft room looks like Michael's threw up in my craft room. At least the lady found humor in it. Thank you to the kids. They are pretty funny, right? Darn, I forgot to erase and make that lighter. I gotta do it this time. Make this lighter. Hopefully this won't show through as much. Orange. see. Oops. Finally bought myself a pack of erasers because the eraser on the pencils keeps falling off. What's everybody's favorite craft to do? Do you like painting? Do you like wreath making? That's what started my crafts. I started watching YouTube, and I started cleaning my house with YouTube, believe it or not. YouTube got me involved in cleaning my house. I know that sounds silly, but maybe someday I'll get into why that happened, but I started cleaning my house, and then all of a sudden, you know how it snowballs into this, that, and the other? Well, then all of a sudden I started watching crafting, and then I started watching all the crafting, and then I started doing all of the wreath making. Well, the wreath making and all of the deco mesh. Oh, Lord. I have got cabinets full of deco mesh. And then I have so many wreaths of deco mesh. I don't know what to do with all these wreaths of deco mesh. You only have a front door and a back door, right, people? And you only have so many bedrooms and so many bathrooms to put your wreaths on, right? Right, So unless you live in a mansion, which I certainly don't, and my friends are really tired of me giving them wreaths, I've got so many deco mesh wreaths that I don't know what to do with. So I started branching out my crafting into doing other things. And I don't know, but all of you YouTubers out there that make all these beautiful, beautiful, beautiful crafts, I'm so jealous of all of you that have wall space to do things. My house doesn't have walls. Like, we have windows and doors. Like, we don't have walls. I know that sounds really ridiculous. I can't explain it, but we have some windows and we have doors, but we don't have a bunch of wall space. And anyways, so I don't have a lot of space to put some really cool things when I want to make things that all you make and follow along. I don't have that opportunity. So, oh crud, I wanted to do this in orange. See, I started talking and it is now red. Well, who says it has to look like anything in particular, right? Right, it's my craft. It's gonna hang in my house, right? So, unless I want to give it as a gift to somebody. Anyways, I don't have enough places in my house to hang stuff that I make. I wish I did. So everybody's constantly getting gifts from me. They're probably like, oh no, she's been crafting again. Or they're like, oh, please don't let her give us more gifts. Please don't. Or, what has she made? Hopefully it's something we like. I can only imagine what people are saying when they see me coming down the street with gift bags, right? But I make myself laugh. Okay, so here I am just doing my own lettering. So this is what Thanksgiving looks like. So I'm putting it in my stand. I don't even know if you can see this. Thanks. Oops, there's going to be one part that I didn't tell you about, that I just thought about, that I have to add on to here. Here's the thanks, and here's the giving, and I have to add one thing, and I will add it, and then I will show you, but I have one stick that goes in the back here so that it will hold up the, I put one popsicle stick in the back so that it'll hold up the word that's on top. That's how it looks. See, I don't get this whole angle. See, this is so raw. I might look back on this someday and laugh, and I might not. I might just cry, right? I'll probably cry because my kids will be making fun of me tonight if I even get the courage to put this up. So, Thanksgiving. And then I'm going to turn this around and write Jingle Bells. So, that's what I got going. Gonna turn it around and do the Jingle Bells.